I would love to share with you exactly what I showed a recent student of mine, Brian. He came to me with driver, struggling massively. It was curving way off to the right. And he said to me, I just can't fix it. We got right to the core of this problem about his grip with this simple concept of where we got a ruler between our sternum and our right shoulder, and it clicked immediately, which is super exciting for me to be sharing with you right now. Now, if you are a brand new viewer to this channel, please do consider subscribing. I produce simple golf tips that are powered by you, the viewer. So as long as you're subscribed and you've turned on the bell, just pop what you need help with down below, and I'll be picking your comment personally to create videos in the next week. Now, it's funny because he also came to me struggling with anything above a 7-iron, and that improved tremendously too. So let's start with driver. Let's get to the core of this problem and not just put plasters over your golf swing. Everybody has this idea, and this is what Brian had, of that there is one grip that fits all. That is completely wrong. You should not be copying the same grip as me, the same grip as your best golfer in your golf club. I want you to find the grip for you. Let me explain. This is such a simple concept. I want you to imagine there is a ruler from the middle of your chest, and we'll use our golf club here, from the middle of our chest to outside of our shoulder, okay? Let's say where this yellow starts to where this black is our ruler. This being strong, this being weak. And all we're referencing is where the creases of our left and our right thumb are pointing. Now, he had this idea, and you might think this is right if you're a slicer of the golf ball, to get them both pointing into your right armpit. Well, on paper, yes, but that's not everything. So let me explain the process. Now, as you probably figured out in your golf swing now, if you've been playing for several years, or if you're brand new, it's considerably easier to hit a shorter golf club. It's considerably easier. You would stand there with 7-iron, not see too much curve, and have even less curve as you go to something like a pitching wedge. But as soon as you step into 6-iron, 5-iron into driver, that curve gets dramatically more. So I said to Brian, and this is something that I would encourage you to do down at the driving range right now, hit 10 shots away for me with your current grip. Let's see what the average curve is. So the average curve for Brian was way off to the right. So this is the process we use for him. And it's super important. The flattest face in your golf club really shows you a true reflection of where your swing is at. The more loft can sort of hide those little faults that you have. So I've got a tee peg here to really help me illustrate, and I'm going to place this in between the thumb of my right hand and my first finger, just in there like that, really, really easy. And I'm going to take my grip. So it's fair to say, remember that spectrum, weak, and outside of your right shoulder, super strong, okay? Now, where Brian started was this pointing into that right armpit. So the first thing that we did was, let's get that pointing right outside. Because we know right now, even though on paper what we'd class as a good grip isn't working. So we hit a shot away, a little bit like this. Now, I know what's going to come here. The ball is going to move with loads of right to left. To be fair, for a right-handed golfer that slices it, that's going to be damn enjoyable. Damn enjoyable. So let me hit this one away. So look at this reference, our gauge outside of our right shoulder to a really strong area. Look at the curve on that. Way too much. But that got Brian really excited. He said to me, I have never hit a curve like that before in my life. And I'll be honest with you, my face lit up because I knew we were onto something here. I really did. So let's digress a little further. We then hit another shot. And this is why it's so powerful, because before now, he had messed around with his grip, but he had no reference point of where he was at.
And what a destination this is. We're at Costa Navarino, the host of the Legends Tour event this week. You know what? This is one of the most special places I've been able to film at.
So let's grab our tee peg back out. I wouldn't hit a shot with it in, to be honest. That's where we hit our last shot. We then just went and tweaked it halfway between where he was and where we just hit the final one. So pointing somewhere in here on the spectrum, we hit that shot away and we were like, boom. straight down the middle. Now I got seriously excited because we hit another shot away and the exact same thing happened. And this is why now using this gauge, you can guide yourself to your perfect grip. Now I realize you might be thinking, well, Alex, I don't slice it like Brian. I don't miss it off to the right. I'm a little bit more of a hooker of the golf ball. And I did also warn Brian of this. It's interesting. All golfers do have the ability to go from one extreme to the other. So this is why I also showed him this, because I don't want him to leave a lesson going, Alex has only shown me part of the information. I want him to leave the lesson knowing everything that is perfect for his swing. We then said, if you start hooking the golf ball, what we're going to do here is take your spectrum and your ruler to point to the weak part. More, so this T-peg now lines up level with your sternum and hit a shot away. Now, if I hit this here, look at the effect this has on my ball flight. It has just moved with left to right curve, with quite a lot, to be honest. So then if we move with too much left to right, we would move it back. But what I want you to encourage you to do right now is hit several shots at each grip change. And I would recommend roughly 5. So if you need to go strong, hit 5 here. If 5 curve like this, we nudge it back until we hit 5 that are absolutely perfect. Now in Brian's case, this was quite a quick process and I'm sure it will be for you, because I know if 90% of golfers did this, they would see dramatic improvements. So let me just explain briefly what we did with our irons. Because I often hear this, Alex, I've got a different grip for my irons as I do my driver. As best we can, I don't want this to be the case. Yes, I want you to go through the same process, almost mirror what you did with your driver with your irons. So like Brian, if you needed to start over here, do that. So if we summarize that and just go, how could I use this myself right now? Let's take it from the top. We'll stand here. We've got our spectrum, weak, I'll hold this up, weak to strong, okay? Weak to strong. I want you to do it based on your ball flight. If you are a golfer who has too much curve to the right for a right-hander, we're gonna take it right to the strong area, strong as you can, okay? And then if it curves too much the opposite way, edge it back. If you're a golfer who hooks the golf ball, we're gonna take your grip right to that weak area, and then we're gonna edge it back if it starts to move with too much left to right curve. So this is really nice and simple, something you can use as a reference point. And I really like this T-peg because you can stand there, make that grip change, right? That's weak, that's super strong, somewhere in the middle, take it out, leave your right hand on, put your hand back on, boom. You've got a reference point to work to, and that's super powerful if you want to improve your golf this summer. Thanks for watching.